guys, Rick Shaw here. We got the umbrella cam going this morning. We had a pretty dang good rain all day yesterday. Morning, Tatai. And I didn't do a video yesterday. I was taking the kids up and back to the tutor. So through the rain with the umbrella. We had such hard downpours. It actually was kind of cool when the kids were going back and forth to school. We were able to, it sort of lightened up a little bit. Let me unhook this thing here. There we go. So, but then none of the guys could work yesterday. It rained all night last night. Wes was talking about over at his place. It rained all night there too. The night before, we kind of had it on and off. My back was killing me yesterday. It eased up, so I just didn't do too much. But they had a thing. They sent it to everybody's phone. If you have, I don't know if it's the other ones. All we know is about Smart. But if you have Smart, they send you a thing, and right now it's what they call an orange alert for rain, and it's been really something. But I have to say about I did a walk yesterday when it was really pouring, and these drains here really work good. I went all the way up to the other end of the development. I wound up getting soaked because the rain was doing some Forrest Gump rain. I mean, I was soaked. It was a little bit cold when I got back, and there wasn't enough water pressure to get a hot shower. It sucks here because I finally have a shower, finally have an Insta-Hot, and if there's no water pressure, the Insta-Hot doesn't turn on. So I just said heck with it, and I made hot water in the kettle because I just got cold yesterday. I checked the thermometers before I got the umbrella today. In the house it was 75, and the humidity was about the same, 75, 76. But when I was outside, the temperature was 72, and the humidity was 80. So that's where they're going there. I don't think it's going to be a soaker all day. We've got no breaks in the cloud up there at all, and it doesn't seem like the clouds are moving. This one's funny because it's coming from it's actually coming from the north. I guess that would be the northeast here. It seems like it's being drawn through here. And it's not I don't think this is going to quit. This could be. Hey, hi, Miss Umbrella Girl. Where's your umbrella?
I don't have it.
Oh, my goodness. You should have had your umbrella, little one. Okay. She's my little walking buddy. This is one of the only places we got a puddle in here. Oh, you be like Peppa Pig with the muddy puddles, huh? But, yeah, we were just chilling. We were checking over the homework. We got to get the girl to advance them up a little bit. I told my wife if she doesn't, she's claiming that she's just checking to see what they know. Well, if she doesn't advance them up a little bit, we're going to look somewhere else. They're talking here. There was a thing that came out, said the schools were going to open in August. And then a real official from the government. Okay, that's great. And then they just put out another one. Now it's going to be middle of September. This country, that's all they do is shove things down the road. It's just I guess it's the culture, the nature of how these people do things. They just keep shoving stuff, kicking the can down the road, and never. They got one governor down in Cebu. She wants to, instead of like Truman passing the buck, she wants to grab the buck and do something different. But they're fighting her tooth and nail because I think there's too much money being made with this stuff for them to want to stop. And any government as long as I've ever seen, caring for the people, what a joke. They don't give a damn shit about the peons. just don't. They never. No government ever has that I know of. You get a few people here and there that do. And then you have these political parties, you know, oh, you got the blue and the red, and, you know, they're all for you. No, they're not. Different wings of the same bird, guys. You just got to get that through your head. But here, I can see this never ending here. You know, I try not to get depressed about this kind of stuff, but why would they want to end it? You know, why? There's the largest transfer of wealth in the world going on here. Why would they want to stop that? They're getting rich. They're making dynasties. You know, now there's the president here. You know, that you look at what happens with Manny. So right now they got all the news media is just downing him. You know, what a worthless piece of crap he is. Hey, and they're just nailing him right and left. So that's on purpose. And then the president here, he wants his daughter to run. And, of course, they got Dominion voting machines here. And he's the president now, but he wants to be the vice president. Yeah, wow. You know something? I remember years and years ago, they had a boss where I worked. I was doing electrical work in this factory, and he was the big cheese. And he was a poor boss. I wasn't too affected by him, you know, because I was outside contractor, but I was there for quite a long time, close to a year, because they were revamping this whole, and it was a huge place. I mean, unbelievable. I think they had 3,700 employees in there, and we were doing all this stuff, and they never shut down operations. We were having to do changes in small areas and move things out of the way and wait for them. It actually wasn't a hard job. There was a lot of waiting. Hey, miss, what are you doing in the rain? So this guy was a horrible boss. He was very rude to his people. He screamed a lot, and that was one of the things that taught me something that doesn't work. You know, he would berate people in front of everybody. He would actually take them and call a meeting on the floor and get somebody out and just start screaming in their face. Well, finally the owners were in. They got so many complaints. They didn't fire him, but they demoted him down to nothing. He just wound up becoming a laborer, and they put this other guy in charge. And the other guy was pretty good. He was a good guy. But and he stayed. How could you do that? Never in a million years. If I was the boss of something, and then I would leave. I would absolutely leave. I wouldn't stay there. I'd consider myself a punk. I would consider myself a punk if I did. But that guy stayed, and boy, did he get hammered. He got hammered and ridiculed. Now, the new guy that took over at Boss didn't do that to him. You know, he was a very fair, just a super guy. And that was another thing I learned. I watched how he handled people. And boy, I'll tell you what, everything in that factory, the productivity went up. It just amazed me what happened, even with us, because all of a sudden we weren't sitting around so much. When I first got there, the days seemed like, man, you'd look at your watch at 10 o'clock, and 2 hours later you'd look at your watch again and it was 10:02, because we were waiting on these people, you know, to get things moved, because we weren't allowed to touch it. You know, that factory had a union and we were in the union, so it was one of them weird things. The other thing that was funny, the truckers would come in, and they could take their goods from the truck to the back of the truck, but they couldn't put it on the dock, and the guys on the dock couldn't go in the truck, so they had to hire in-between guys to move it, just, you know, take it off of their pallets. That's funny how the union things go. But that was quite a long time ago. I don't know if it's like that today, but well, this is the first time I've had the umbrella cam out in a long time. You know, it's been quite a while. I got this umbrella when I was that's the Giano Mall down in Davao back in, I think that was 2016, 17, something like that. I can't remember what year it was. And I was down there in Davao. I saw some things on the couple XPEC sites. Somebody was worried about the dangers down in Davao, being kidnapped and all this stuff. It seems to me like, just watch where you're going. I was in Davao City the whole time. I felt completely safe when I was down there. That was Duterte City, and I felt completely safe down there. They had these cops that would stay in camo, and you wouldn't see them at all, and then you'd walk by this little thing where there was a break in a wall or something like that, and you'd walk by, wouldn't even notice them, but if you would turn in there and look, there'd be like 6 of them in there. And there was no crime. You could go down at call centers there. You go down there at 2, 3 in the morning, and you see some young 19-year-old girl walking down the street all by herself, and they weren't worried. Now, there was a bombing when I was down there. It was far from us, though. I can't remember the name of the town that was. It was quite far, though. I asked somebody, where's it at? And they had a big map on the wall. And it was like super far northwest from where we were. Almost on the other side of the island. So, Zam started with Z, something like that. But these guys that, it's a shame. Wherever you go in this world, there's people that just want to destroy it, and they want trouble, and they want all this crap, and that just sucks. It's like with this Congress stuff going on, guys. If you're not getting through your head that this is a big thing to control people, so that they can take over and get you to do more and more stuff and take more and more of your freedoms. And I'm sorry, you're just not using your head. You're not using the brain God gave you. This is all a bunch of baloney. Now, I got onto a thing. It's not on Messenger or Facebook or anything, because I put some stuff there and they immediately took it down. It wasn't even up there a second, and it just poof. It came up, it was down. And it was just some guys going on CDC and getting their numbers. That's all it was. And telling you how to do it. And they took it down. They took all this crap down. And I was like, wow, why? This is the CDC. And it was how to look up their stuff and how many people have, that they mark has died because of this thing they're putting in us. And I got onto a couple other sites where people are giving their stories of what happened to them or their family members. And they're showing pictures of these things with terrible, terrible stuff. Now, the one on there, I did go to the CDC website and follow that guy's technique of how to get all these numbers. And yeah, it takes a little bit. I mean, if you want to sit around and play with it. But we were in yesterday all day. And we had a Mr. Bean Fest for the kids. I had been over at our friends, and we collected up... my goodness, I think I had about 2 or 3 hours of the Mr. Bean, his regular TV show, and we liked that. And there was the other English show, Keeping Up Appearances. That's my favorite. that's my favorite English show with that Hyacinth crazy lady. I don't know if you guys ever go on YouTube if you ever want to see a kind of a cool English show. That's that Keeping Up Appearances. I just love that show. That's that, and Mr. Bean, the kids they love the heck out of that. So we kind of binge watched that yesterday. But while they were doing that, I was on the phone playing around a little bit. We didn't have too bad a signal. It dropped off because whenever there's a lot of people on, the signal here goes down to nothing. So with me with all the buffering kind of sucks. But I'm gonna let you go. This is the couple days we've had. None of the construction guys can work now. I guess that's kind of good for the concrete that was poured on this one. It's staying nice and wet. I don't know. I see them always when they're doing concrete work. They always spray it and put water on it. I know when they did my driveway at our first house, after the dudes kept coming back and putting water on it. So I'm not a concrete guy. I don't pretend to know anything about it. I can mix it because I've seen how much they use in the mix. But these places here, I think they do, when it comes to the concrete, they do a good job and the block work. But I'm also noticing that the different crews are doing these places differently. It's, you know what I mean. It's really something. I've seen on this one here when they were doing the floor over here. Somebody got in there with a hook and he pulled up the rebar off the bottom. And when they were doing the upstairs floor, they did the same thing. They grabbed that hook and they pulled it off the bottom. Now, I didn't see them doing that in the other house. Now, maybe they did it when I wasn't around, but I didn't see that when they started pouring that concrete. I didn't see them even having a hook. Now, when we were over in Carmona, when they poured the floors over there, they left the rebar down on the bottom, and as it corroded, it expands, and you could just see the rebar busted long strips and stuff through the floor on the bottom on a bunch of them. And it was like, man, why didn't somebody pull that up? You know, you make a hook once you start pouring concrete. You make a hook and a dude goes through there in a pair of boots and he hooks onto it and pulls it up a few inches, so you don't get that. So, but you know, it depends on the crew doing this. You know, and the builders, that's something that they don't look into that I can see. I see them coming around here a lot, which is good. But I wonder if it's enough. The boss that comes around here, I think the company might be, you know, cheapening it out a little bit, because there should be a superintendent here on this site every day for every house. But no, he even said to us about, oh, well, you know, they got me going over here and they got me going over there. And he's missing stuff. You know, he misses things. So, you know, that's kind of a bad thing. That's where if you're going to get a house, even if you get a builder, make sure you're here on site. The way it was supposed to work for us, I was supposed to be here. We were supposed to move here, and when they started from breaking ground, and I was going to just come out here every day, but the COVID happened, and we got boned on that. So that's why, you know, so many things in this house that we wanted. You know, just even in the shower, it just aggravates the hell out of me that I stand in the shower where the shower head is right here, and I got a duck to go underneath it with a bad back. That was one of the things on my list. I had been making a list in the house, and I gave it to them, and they even wrote it down in their own book, and I didn't get it. And the only way to change this thing is to rip it out. You have to rip it out and make another one. So, you know, and I'm just not doing that now. It's low on my list of stuff because we still need screens and, you know, and curtains. We got to get the curtains here. We've been looking at pricing on curtains and trying to find the best deal. It's coming. I need to get a cabinet out here because every time I want to get to my tools, look what I got to deal with. I got to pull all this crap out of the way, and who knows where they are, because it constantly gets moved. So I don't know where or what, or you know, what the heck is going on with that. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. It's getting kind of long. It is a heck of a day. Yeah, right here it's saying, well, it actually says 70 or 25 Celsius and 80, so that's up a little bit. And it's 80% humidity on this little meter I got out here. So I'm gonna let you go, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening wherever you're at. And this is Rick Shaw out. Don't forget to pray for each other.